Think back for a second. You were a kid. You ran to your parents excited about something, and instead of joy, you got a snide remark, a jab, a comparison, something that stuck with you long after that moment passed. If that's happened to you, you're not alone. Every home has love in it, but sometimes that love gets buried under so much harshness that all a child remembers is the pain, not the affection. Today we're talking about 8 phrases that, when repeated often enough, can quietly reshape how a child thinks, who they become, and habits that follow them for life. And stick around till the end, because I'm not just going to list the damage, I'm going to tell you how people actually start undoing it. Welcome to Mind Pattern. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe, and if any of these phrases sound familiar, I want you to do something different this time. Don't just comment which one hit hardest. Comment which one you've stopped saying or are trying to stop. Let's make this a space for breaking the cycle, not just naming it. The first one: you're so dark. You've gotten fat. Look at your nose. Even said jokingly, the impact is the same. Childhood is when a person is still figuring out their own identity, and if during that time they keep hearing put-downs about their looks, their skin, or their body, they learn to resent themselves. Down the line, this can turn into eating disorders, an inability to look in the mirror, or a constant urge to hide. Here's the part most videos skip. This one is fixable in real time. Psychologists call it reparenting, literally becoming the voice to yourself that you needed as a kid. If you catch yourself picking apart your reflection, that's not vanity, that's an old script playing. Naming it, "This is my dad's voice, not the truth," is often the first crack in the pattern. Second, why do you talk like that? Why do you walk so weird? Why can't you just be normal? Kids take what their parents say as fact, whether it's true or not. When every little action gets questioned, the child starts believing something must genuinely be wrong with them. This can make a person so self-conscious that even as adults they struggle to open up around others, always afraid someone will spot their flaw. What's different about this one from the last point is where it hits. It's not about how you look. It's about how you exist in a room. That's why people who grew up with this often over-explain themselves or apologize for taking up space. If that's you, it's worth noticing how often you say sorry for things that need no apology. Third, and maybe the most painful one: I wish you were never born. You ruined my life. I wish I'd had a different kid. This isn't just a sentence, it's a rejection of a child's entire existence. When a kid hears again and again that their existence itself is the problem, they start believing they don't deserve to be happy. That belief can grow into depression, and in serious cases, thoughts of self-harm. Quick pause here. If this part is landing close to home and you're in a dark place right now, please don't sit with it alone. Reach out to a crisis line or someone you trust today. You deserve support, not silence. Fourth, do you know how much you cost me? You make my life so hard. You drain all my energy. Hearing this enough times teaches a child to hide their own needs because they start believing that anything they ask for is a burden on their parents. They learn to bury their pain, their needs, their happiness. And research shows that when kids feel a lack of love and attention at home, some end up seeking that connection in the wrong places. One sign this is still running in your adult life: you feel guilty asking for help, even small things, a favor, emotional support, someone's time. If asking for basic things makes you feel like you're too much, that guilt isn't yours. It was handed to you. Fifth, why can't you be more like your sister? Look how well-behaved so-and-so's kids are. They're better than you. Comparison does some of the quietest but deepest damage. It teaches a child that no matter how hard they try, it's never enough. And when that comparison happens between siblings, it breeds jealousy and resentment that can poison that relationship for life. The tricky part is, this one doesn't just wound you. It can turn you into someone who compares yourself to everyone else automatically, at work, in friendships, in relationships. If you catch yourself constantly measuring your worth against someone else's highlight reel, that's the comparison habit still running its old program. Sixth, you're so stupid. You'll never amount to anything. You're worthless. These words go straight for a child's self-belief. When someone hears over and over that they're going to fail, they eventually stop trying, because in their mind, the outcome is already decided. A parent's job is to build a child's confidence and stand by them despite their flaws, not remind them of those flaws constantly. This is where learned helplessness comes from, a term psychologists use for when someone stops trying because they've been convinced trying won't matter anyway. The good news, it's learned, which means it can be unlearned, usually by collecting small proof, small wins that contradict the old label. 7th, I'll just leave you. One day you'll wake up and I'll be gone. I'll give you away. These threats plant a permanent fear that anyone who loves them will eventually leave. As adults, people who grew up hearing this often carry constant doubt and anxiety in their relationships, always bracing for the people close to them to walk away. This often shows up as either clinging too tightly to relationships out of fear or pushing people away first before they can leave. Both are the same fear wearing two different masks. And 8th, if you do this, I'll get you that, and then it never happens. Next time, I promise, and next time never comes. When promises are broken over and over, a child learns one thing. You can't trust what people tell you. That distrust follows them into every future relationship, friendships, romantic relationships, always leaving them a little guarded, a little suspicious. If you find it hard to fully relax even with people who've never let you down, this might be why. Trust, once broken repeatedly in childhood, has to be rebuilt on purpose in adulthood. It doesn't just come back on its own. So if some or all of this felt familiar, here's what actually helps, beyond just naming the pain. Name it out loud, even just to yourself. That wasn't okay, is a complete sentence. Separate the voice from the truth. The words a hurt parent said are not facts about who you are. Practice the opposite habit. If you were taught to hide your needs, practice voicing one small need this week. Talk to someone, a therapist, a support group, even one honest friend. These patterns loosen their grip fastest in connection, not isolation. You're not stuck being who your childhood shaped you into. You're allowed to keep the good parts and rewrite the rest. Words don't leave physical bruises, but the wounds they cause can last a lifetime. Childhood is the foundation everything else gets built on, and if that foundation is shaky, it's hard to build a stable life on top of it. If any of these phrases felt familiar, remember this: it wasn't your fault. And you're still capable of writing your own story, no matter what you carried out of childhood. If this video was helpful, share it with someone who might need it. Sometimes the people who need this most won't go looking for it themselves. And subscribe to Mind Pattern. We cover psychology and mental health topics like this every week. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself.